I thought this was here's Matt Walsh coming up with a take that was in favor 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago by the right, that there's no difference between COVID-19 and never mind the flu, even car accidents. Was this guy on vacation? Or did someone at Daily Wire say like, "Hey, if we put this out on YouTube, it'll get these are good search terms." There has to be a reason for this stupidity. Let's see what Matt Walsh says.
Every year that we allow people to drive their cars, 30 to 35,000 people will die. And across the world, it would be 1 million people or thereabouts. And there will be tens of thousands more, if not hundreds of thousands more, I don't know, who are seriously injured, maimed, or crippled in car accidents. We know that is the cost of having our cars. And yet, nobody says, let's get rid of cars. And so the calculation we have made, the bargain we have made, the deal we've made is those 35,000 dead are a price worth paying so that we can drive. We don't want to put it that way. We don't want to think of it that way. We're not saying that it would be worth it to actively kill 35,000 people to like appease the gods or something so that we can drive. That's not the point. Okay, we're not saying that we should go out and kill 35,000 people ourselves in order to drive. What we're saying is, if people drive, 35,000 people or thereabouts will die. We don't want them to, but they will. And although we're very sad about that, we will accept that side effect. And then we bring that over to the COVID-19 discussion. And we say, okay, in order to preserve our economy, we know what we're willing to accept in order to preserve our ability to drive. What are we willing to accept in terms of a death toll in order to preserve our economy and our way of life and our livelihoods? Our cars, along with our homes and our retirement savings and the food in our fridge and everything else. What are we willing to accept there in terms of risk, in terms of potential death toll? It's got to be way over 35,000. So what is it? I don't know. I'm just saying that's the point. That's the ethical question that we're dealing with.
This guy, I mean, put aside the ghoulishness of what he's saying. That's fine, because I understand. I don't want facts to get in the way of, I don't want emotions to get away in the facts. But is there a better example of someone being more ignorant? Like literally the first words out of his mouth in this clip is every year, 30 to 35,000 people die in car accidents. Every year. We know this. And somehow this guy is so dim, he doesn't realize that he has answered his own question. We also know that the flu in this country will take the lives of anywhere from like 28,000 to maybe up to 60,000 in any given year. We know this. The problem with COVID-19 is we don't know. We don't know how many thousands will die. We don't know how long this will last. We don't know any of this. We have no way of knowing. It is got a death rate that is higher than the flu. It is significantly more contagious, so it can overwhelm our hospitals, right? Like, so right now in New York, what is the death rate? How many people we had died in New York? Almost 1,000, is it now? At one point, we're going to cross the threshold where the hospitals cannot handle the number of people who are severely ill. And the death rate is going to grow exponentially at that point. We don't know this. We're not set up to this. We're set up where we know how many people are going to die every year on the roads. And we can make that determination. When you're talking about a pandemic, when you're talking about a virus that is this virulent and this contagious, we don't know the answer to it. We don't know what the number is, and that's the whole point why you do this. If there was, if the virus gods, as he says, because he loves to, came down and said, hey, only 1,500 people are going to die in the country from this. Well, guess what? It would be just like the flu. It'd be better than the flu. But we don't know. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. And he kept reiterating, we know this. Well, yes, that's the whole point, you moron. It's unbelievable. The mental masturbation that is involved and that guy going out there thinking he's saying something profound. And it's really a question of like, I'm going to isolate for everybody what the ethical question is. We have 519 total deaths in New York at this point. And we are on the cusp of this thing really hitting in New York City.